This is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test. This is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test. You are entering Tara's terrestrial aura. Are you ready? I repeat, this is not a test. This is not a test. As a child, we use our imaginations to create fantasies and to create these stories of just these images and thoughts and these other worlds and just journeys and things, and you think nothing of it because it's nothing to you. You're just like, oh, this is awesome. I'm a kid and I'm having fun. I'm using my imagination and the sky is the limit. I remember sitting down and playing Barbies with my sister for the whole weekend sometimes. We wouldn't even want to go outside when we got deep into it, especially in the winter, things whenever you don't really want to be out. We would have a blast. Our childhood was imagination. We drew houses and pretend that we were adults and we had families and husbands and wives and children, and we would just live in these worlds of fantasy and belonging, and felt like that was what was meant to be and how life could be, and we wanted those futures, and we enjoyed our imagination, and we embraced our imagination. Whatever happened to imagination, though, is the question. I feel like because of me having that imagination as a child, it made me a better person, and it made me grow up to be able to have that creativity, to be able to enjoy myself for purely myself. When someone says they're bored, that bothers me so bad. Boredom. Period, ... all kinds of dots. Because boredom, the definition of boredom in my head is the inability to create adventure within yourself to fulfill something that produces energy, that vibrates in a happy way to make you move forward in time without feeling the presence of time. You should never feel the presence of time. When you feel the presence of time, you need to reevaluate your situation and look at it and say, okay, what am I doing wrong? Why am I feeling this time so much? What can I do to fill this time with something to occupy my mind of something other than the fact that time is going by so slowly? I feel like time flies. Life's flying. Every day I think, wow, it's so crazy how fast time's going. I literally say it out loud at least 3 times a week, and I say it to someone, because that is how life is. You are living and you embrace the energy that you produce instead of producing negative energy of boredom and the inability to occupy your own mind. What have we become? We have become a world of electronics and internet and gadgets and everything except just the ability to be able to go into your own mind and create a space of something that produces something to make you happy. It doesn't have to be you staying in your mind and you just thinking and withering off into your imagination, which is absolutely also fine, because the fact that you can imagine is more than most can do. But what I'm saying is, even just coming up with a cool idea, something fun, something you enjoy doing, or something that you need to get done, you've been needing to get done, and it's just something on your mind, do something is all I'm saying. Come up with something that makes you happy. And the outcome, even if it doesn't take happiness to do, it's not always happy and sunshine and rainbows or whatever you want to say. Sometimes it sucks. But whenever it sucks, you know that the outcome is going to be good. Because typically, whenever you get out of any sucky situation, it's going to be good. So that's a given. over time, I have done so many things. My age doesn't express my adventures or my wisdom. My wisdom is far beyond my years because of the fact that I have been thrown into so many situations that I've let myself get thrown into. Looking back at it, I can say now, but at the time I would say I was a victim, because all people who struggle in life seem to be identified as victims. Whenever you victimize yourself, you become someone who is fighting against something instead of working with the grain and moving forward together and making what you have work. Instead, you dwell on the things that you don't have, and you dwell on the things that you do because you do it in a negative light, and you think constantly about what you could be doing that would be so much better, but yet you don't act on those things because you feel like you can't, because there's circumstances that hold you down. And I get it. Yes, there are always circumstances that are going to hold you down, but all you can do is take each of those circumstances and figure out a way to make it better, and do it one step at a time. Every time you fix one circumstance, it creates the opportunity to move to the next and fix something else. And as you keep fixing everything, eventually you get to the point of your happiness. And I've made it there finally, and it took so many years. But I am happy, and I value my alone time, and that's something that people find odd oftentimes. But that's okay to me, because everyone's different, and what I enjoy is different than what someone else may enjoy, and that's okay. I don't really think much about having a partner anymore these days because I value my alone time. I'll say it again. It's very, very pertinent to me. So that's how I feel, and that's how I live, and that's how I move forward with life. Some people aren't that way. That's me. But in all, we are all one and the same. So each of us have different aspects and different views. It's just like how you can look at a box, and from one angle it looks one way it looks another way, and one way it looks another way. Never mind the fact that the box is splattered with all kinds of different colors and pictures and things that you wouldn't see if you were on the other side, because it's only on one side, or it may be in a crevice of a corner, or it may be on top, or it may be on the bottom, and the bottom's not shown because the surface is it's not uncovered because it has to set flat. Or is the box floating? There's so many aspects of that box. If you take away one element of anything, it makes everything change. And if you add another element to everything, it makes everything more in depth, and it makes things more clear. So all you can do is continue to add to each element, to everything, and hope to come out with a good outcome and be able to succeed. And don't even hope, know that you will, and then you will do it. Because every time you do something to create a better path, the path gets more smooth and it goes forward easier. It's a given. It's like I've done all of these things to learn things and to just get a better knowledge of myself, and to be able to understand what life is within itself, and just so many different things. And what I came out with and what I've answered finally is we are capable of doing whatever we want to do. It's just a matter of doing it. You could be listening to this sitting in a house that's a shotgun house, that you're barely paying for your utilities to stay on, you're behind on your rent, whatever the case may be. I've been there, and I lived through it, and I moved forward. And yeah, maybe I got in situations to where I was forced to move forward a little harsher than others, and I still had to do it. And with that, it made me a stronger person. I've done a lot of things that most people wouldn't even want to admit to, and it's not something that you put on your resume, in all honesty. So I've had to live a lot of shame and guilt and like inconsistency, to where I don't want to show people. Well, actually, not inconsistency, but a inconsistency, excuse me. Because whenever it's consistent of inconsistent, it's a double negative, and it makes you have a consistent, which is ironic in itself. But I will say I did have that. I chose someone to be with in life for a long time that I wouldn't even to this day say was bad for me, but was someone that made me live, not made me, but someone whom what I endured a path with that we spiraled on. And that's okay, because when you spiral, it makes you realize how many directions you can spiral, and how there's not just up and down, there's side to side, there's staying still, there's getting off of the spiral even, because that's an option, which is what I had to do, obviously, to move forward, which may not be obvious to all, but to me it's obvious, because it goes without saying I had to get to this point in life. But it's not like I have everything that I desire and hope and dream to have right now at this moment in life. However, I know that I'll get those things, and I know that everything's coming to me as it will and how it should, because not obviously, sorry, I have a habit, but it's just one of those things, you know it's coming, you take pride in it coming, and you embrace and you prepare and you are ready for it to come because you're susceptible to it. Whenever you accept something and want it to come to you, you become susceptible to it, and it comes, and that's how life works. Food for thought. You can't have my body, you can't have my soul, you can't have my faith, you can't have my no. You can't have me. I will stand, we will rise, we will power and overrise. We can overthrow what everyone believes if we can all see and believe that we are we. There is no one, there is a whole. We make that whole. There's no need for hate, there's no need for judgment, there's no need for anything of that. We need to be and feed the need. We shall overcome, and we shall rise above and be what our true selves require and need us to be, which is individual, interacted, interconnected consciousness. We are consciousness. We are vibrational pools that make this universe exist. Without our thoughts and our minds, nothing would exist. When you are alive, you are a conscious vessel with the ability to materialize things and live in a three-dimensional world that exists in a way that you can interact and live in it as if it's your own. But whenever that interaction dies and you move on to the next phase, you go back. You go back to a mere energy, which is a vibration, and that vibration has the ability to adapt and go to different surroundings and make the choice to go back and live in a physical world. That is the answer, and that is the truth. Once you get past the phase of needing to feel the need to go back to the material world, you go past that and you die one last time. So we say die, but it's not die. It's you go to the next phase for the last time of the materialistic view of life, and you go to the spiritual energy vibration that creates its own universe and its own conscious of reality. my reality, as are you, and you are me as I am you. We are all one. We are all the same. And as crazy as it sounds, it's the absolute truth. And I know this. And there's no need to question this. This is the answer to reality. You are me as I am you. Me we be. Take me higher. Take me higher. Take me higher. Take me higher. If you say the words all by the sea, and you'll see the things that come naturally. If you tell me when, I'll tell you where. And we'll sell this world without a care. Take me higher. Take me higher. Take me higher. Take me higher. If you sell the world, we'll never know just where we were supposed to go. But everything will be as it will be, and we'll know that we are meant to be free. Take me higher. Take me higher. Take me higher. Take me higher. When we get to freedom, we'll truly know the true place we were meant to go. When we get there, we'll always know that for us there we'll never know. Take me higher. Take me higher. Take me higher. Take me higher. Now that we are really there, we sell the life without a care. And when everyone else will know, then they will all wanna go, and we'll say, take me higher. Come on higher. We're on fire. Now we're higher. Let's go higher. We are high now, and we'll always know when and where to go.